So now we need to create helper class together with our getCSV method. So inside of the root of our project, create a new folder and call it classes. Inside of the classes folder, create a new file called helper.php. Now we start with the opening PHP tag and class helper. Inside of this class helper, we start with public static function getCSV. Now I'm going to close the browser because this line is going to be a little bit longer. First parameter of this method will be table, by default null. Second one will be fields. By default null. Then we have file name. By default we're going to simply call it file.csv. If we don't want to obviously get any other name, we can leave this third parameter blank as well. And then separator, which we want to use separator. By default, we're going to use tabs. So in between a double quotes, \t and closing double quote. Okay, now 2 curly brackets, and we go for if is an empty table. Now, if is an empty fields, then our SQL statement will be SQL equals select, and we do this back quote. Then we go for SQL, concatenating this with implode our fields, and we're going to use backquote, comma, backquote to concatenate it. Then SQL, continue, double quote, closing backquote from table. This is our SQL statement. Now we also need to make sure that this fields is actually an array. So what we're going to do is create this following statement. Fields equals is array fields, otherwise array, and we put fields inside. So we always make sure that obviously this, before we pass these fields into this SQL statement, it's always going to be an array. Now else, if fields is empty, then SQL statement will be very simple. So SQL equals select all from table. Now we go for our database object. So object db equals new PDO, and inside in between the double quotes MySQL colon db name equals books, semicolon host equals local host. Then we go for root database username and password as password. Then we go for object db exec again, and we're going to execute our statement to set a character set. So set character set to UTF-8. Okay, after this one we go for statement equals object db query, and we pass our SQL statement to it. Then list equals statement fetch all, and again PDO fetch assoc. Okay, so that's our statement, and we get all our data from a database. Now that we have this data, we need to start creating the structure of our CSV file.